Welcome to another mini video from 2dgameartguru.com. Today I'm working in Inkscape to show you how to use clones for your clips and masks. I recently recorded a video on clipping and masking in Inkscape, and I wasn't quite happy with the lack of options to edit a clip or a mask after you set it. Once you set a clip, it clips the image, but it is no longer editable. That's why I suggested using clipping groups. Through a video I created for Affinity Designer, I came up with an alternative, using clones to keep your masks editable. I take this group of 4 rectangles, clone it, place it above the image, select both the group and the image, and set the clip. Now the clone clips the image, and the source of the clone is the little image I have in the bottom. When I change that, the clone changes. I can add more shapes to the group and they will clip the photo above. I could have made the icon a little bit bigger, but the focus was on the clip, not on the small controller. If I release that and use something more complex, now I used one clone. What about a bunch of clones? I created a grid of circles, cloning one circle and then duplicating the clone to make the grid, group that and make the group the clip for the photo. I change the source circle and the mask changes. I can change and edit the circle. In this case, I convert the circle to a path, use the node tool and edit it into a droplet. As I do that, the mask changes right away. All the clones that make up my mask change with the change I do to the source. Let's take that and make it a bit more complex. The next shape is a group of circles, one deformed into an elongated and curved droplet inside a transparent circle. So when I rotate everything, the transparent circle defines the rotation. I clone it, scale it up, duplicate it, and create my circular pattern. I select all of them, scale them down, and duplicate them again. Turn that into a clip. I just get a circle instead of the pattern. Clips are shape sensitive, so the transparent circle worked as a clip. For this shape, I use a mask instead. Setting the group as a mask works fine until I color my content black. Masks are color sensitive. Black is 100% transparent, white is 100% opaque. Grays are everything in between. I can rotate the content inside the circle to change the pattern. I can also add more shapes to my group, causing the clones to overlap and thereby show more of the photo underneath. Let's add even more clones to the mask. I created a pattern with a lot of stars, rotated, scaled, and arranged to cover the photo. I group them and turn them into a clip. Let's color the source object, and even when I give it no fill, the mask is not changing. The star shape is very versatile. I can add more corners, elongate the corners, rotate the center, create something very elaborate with very little effort. Play around with it. You can do some really weird things with a star. But masks are not there just to cover photos. I can use them to define a shape. I have this circle with a gradient and a few white shapes on top. I group these and create another circle as my control object. I clone it, set the clone as a mask, and then convert the circle to a path, use the node tool and start deforming. I can add more nodes, move nodes, I can delete nodes. The clone in the mask will follow what I do to the source shape. I create more shapes and combine them with my source shape via the path union. They get combined into one path, and that new path is the mask. On the left side, I ran out of content to be covered. I can change the circle that is inside. I can change the other circles, give them a perfect white. I picked the wrong color there, and adjust those. With the rough shape set, let's add some details on top, and that wasn't too hard to guess. It's supposed to be a little ghost. Thanks to the source object, I can easily change the clone, which changes the mask, which changes the shape of my ghost. I can edit the content by clicking on the elements holding the control key. Now that I'm editing, I realize I totally forgot the main reason I used a mask for this ghost. I wanted to add a color gradient. The color gradient would have made the ghost transparent towards the bottom. So far all these shapes haven't had outlines. What if I want to add an outline? There's a little workaround to it because the clip itself does not have an outline. I create a simple group with a grunge pattern on top of a rectangle with a radial gradient and some blurred circles. For the source object I use this cloud. I created it from a bunch of circles combined via past union and given a stroke. When I clip that, you can see that the outline disappears. I bypass the problem by creating a duplicate. One copy is the clip, the other copy is the outline on top. You can see by control clicking I can still access the content inside the clip. Once I change the source shape with the node tool, both the clip as well as the outline get changed. This time I add the details inside the group that is the source for my clones. That way those details immediately show up in the clones. It shows on the clone on top but does not have any effect on the clone that creates the clip. I can use this to easily create color variations as the content of the clip is not cloned, unlike the clip and the outline on top. Having recorded this video prior for Affinity Designer with a different approach and symbols instead of clones, I am very happy to have made it through this video without too many stuff-ups as far as the terminology goes, and the number of wrong shortcuts wasn't too bad. It can be confusing when you work in multiple applications, but knowing your way around multiple tools is very rewarding and gives you more options. In this video I used basic shapes, turned them into clips or masks, used the node tool to deform them, and most importantly I used clones rather than duplicates. I did not cover it in this video, but I tried. A clone can be used as a clip in a clip group. I had a lot of fun with this approach and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, click on the notification icon, leave a like, and I will see you again soon.